Self-acceptance is one of the most misunderstood concepts in personal growth. I hear people say, if I accept myself, won't I just stop growing? If I'm already enough, why would I even change? If I love myself as who I am, why do I have to improve? If I accept my body, why would I even lose weight? If I accept where I am in life, why would I strive for more? But that's not what self-acceptance really means. Many of us believe that we must be critical of ourselves before we can improve. So we spend years trying to motivate ourselves through criticism, shame, and self-judgment. We think being hard on ourselves will make us stronger. We think self-criticism keeps us motivated. We think self-dissatisfaction is what drives success. And we think if we stop pushing ourselves, we'll stop growing. And we think self-acceptance means settling. But what if we've been getting this backward? What if self-acceptance isn't the end of growth? What if it's actually the foundation of growth? What if constantly criticizing yourself is actually slowing down your growth? Welcome to Love with Eve. If you're new to my channel, I'm Keil. I'm a women's empowerment speaker and relationship recovery coach for women. This channel is a space for healing, empowerment, and loving forward. And today, I want to unpack one of the biggest myths about self-acceptance and help you understand what it really is and what it's not, and why it might be one of the most powerful foundations for growth. So here's my journey. For most of my life, I believed that if I could just achieve one more thing, then I would finally feel enough. When I get the degree, when I get a promotion, when I become more successful, when I find a relationship, when I heal, when I become more confident, then I'll finally feel good about myself. But here's what I discovered. Every time I reach one goal, my mind immediately moved the finish line. There was always another thing to fix, another thing to improve, another reason I wasn't enough yet. Maybe you have experienced that too. You accomplished something you have worked hard for. You should feel proud, but instead, you immediately focus on what's next. You don't celebrate. You don't appreciate yourself enough. You don't acknowledge how far you have come. You simply create another standard you need to meet before you're allowed to feel worthy. That's not growth. That's chasing worthiness. And the problem is that worthiness can never be earned. Because if your worth depends on your achievements, you will never have enough achievements. There will always be more. And this is why self-acceptance is so important. Self-acceptance means acknowledging and embracing who you are today without making your worth dependent on who you're becoming tomorrow. Notice what I didn't say. I didn't say stop growing. I didn't say stop improving. I didn't say stop pursuing goals. I said stop making your worth dependent on them. Those are very different things. Let me give you an example. Let's say you've gained 20 pounds because you get older and your metabolism slows down. A lot of people think self-acceptance means saying, this is just who I am now. I guess I have to live with it. That's not self-acceptance. That's resignation. Self-acceptance sounds more like this. I've gained 20 pounds. I may not be happy about it, but I'm not going to shame myself for it. I'm not going to hate my body. I'm going to accept reality as it is today, and from that place, decide what I want to do next. Do you see the difference? Acceptance is seeing reality clearly. Complacency is choosing not to act. They are very different. In fact, acceptance often creates the clarity needed for change. Think about it. If you're constantly criticizing yourself, where does your energy go? Into guilt, into shame, into self-judgment, into feeling bad about yourself. But when you accept yourself, your energy becomes available for growth. Now let's talk about the phrase, I am enough. I know this phrase can be controversial. Some people hear it and think, no, you're not enough. You should always be improving. But that's not what it really means. When I say I'm enough, I'm not saying I know everything. I'm not saying I have reached my full potential. I'm not saying there are no areas where I can grow. What I'm saying is this. My worth is not up for debate. My value is not something I need to earn. My humanity is enough. I am enough in worth. I'm not finished in growth. These two truths can exist together. Imagine a child learning to walk. Do you look at the child and say, you are not enough until you can walk? Of course not. The child is already enough. And walking is simply part of their growth. But because many of us stopped believing that about ourselves, we started believing we had to achieve our way into worthiness. And that belief follows us into every area of our life, especially relationships. This is something I see all the time with the women I work with. Many high-achieving women are incredibly successful professionally. They've built careers, they've accomplished amazing things. They know they're capable, they know they're competent, but they don't truly accept themselves. They accept the part of themselves that performs, the part that achieves, the part that produces results, but they don't accept themselves as a whole person. Instead, they separate their professional identity from their personal identity. They'll think, I'm good at my job, but that doesn't mean I'm worthy of a healthy relationship. I'm successful in my career, but I still don't think I'm enough in love. So instead of seeing everything they already are, they fixate on everything they believe they are not attractive enough, not lovable enough, not healed enough, not good enough. And when they spend their lives focusing on who they are not, it's hard for them to believe they deserve more. So they settle. They tolerate unhealthy behavior. They overgive. They overfunction. They abandon themselves in relationships because they don't fully believe they deserve better. And that's why self-acceptance is actually about how you allow other people to treat you. When you truly accept yourself, you stop seeking for validation. You stop chasing people who don't choose you. You stop shrinking yourself to keep relationships. And you stop believing you must earn love because you already know your worth. And when you know your worth, growth becomes a choice rather than a requirement. You don't grow because you reject who you are. You grow because you accept who you are. That's a very different energy. One comes from fear, the other comes from self-respect. One says, I have to change because I'm not enough. The other says, I can change because I love myself. That distinction changes everything. So if you have been struggling with self-acceptance, I want to leave you with this thought. You don't have to choose between accepting yourself and growing yourself. You can do both. You can appreciate how far you've come while still pursuing where you want to go. You can accept your body and still want to get healthier. You can accept your life and still want to create more. And you can accept yourself and still have goals, because acceptance is not the opposite of growth. Self-rejection is. You don't have to dislike who you are to become who you want to be. In fact, the most powerful growth often begins the moment you stop fighting yourself. So today, ask yourself, what if I stopped trying to earn my worth? What if I started from the belief that I'm already enough? And what kind of growth would become possible from that place? Remember, you're enough in worth. You are not finished in growth. And both can be true at the same time. If this message resonates with you, let me know in the comments. What is one area in your life where you're learning to accept yourself while still growing? I'd love to hear from you. I'm Eve. This is Love Forward. I'll see you in the next episode.